How much is that doggy in the window? Who won with the what? What you doing?
Feeding me teeth, right?
Is that right? The one with the waggly tail. Well, boys and girls, am I putting myself in it today? Doggy doo doo. Let's find out. And a warm welcome to one and all. And for those of you who have not seen me before, my name is Langers. I'm the overgrown child that is the scruffy trader. What I'm trying to do is kind of put trading in the real world and maybe put a different spin on the normal bollocks that you watch with the Lambo boys.
You ding dong!
I know, this is messed up. These guys, they're fucking idiots.
Dickhead. Anyway, yeah, sorry. I get it kicked into me all the time. It's probably because of that, because we're all tarred with the same brush. The difference is I don't actually sell anything really. Yes, there is the Scruffy Squad. That is a paid membership, but at the end of the day, it's come and go. And the most it ever is 30 quid, and you'll get to see everything that I do. So it's not exactly life-threatening money when I see some of these courses that are peddled for thousands.
You hear nothing? You're braver than I thought.
And it winds me up, you know. Trading ain't difficult. Well, it is. But the hardest part of trading is you.
You serious?
And that's something that I try to express. You see, all systems work, every single one of them. It's just recognizing the conditions in when to apply it. And it's like any other job. You do not learn that skill in one day. If you're a plumber, a bricklayer, a mechanic, an architect, a doctor, a plane pilot, whatever, were you any good on the first day? No, you weren't. You know, so when you see these clowns that sort of say, oh, just follow this system, X marks the spot, and you'll be rich. I nearly got on one there. I really did. It just grieves me. And then I get the backlash of it because they see what I do and they just think I'm one of them. The difference is I actually show what I'm doing in real time. But I also show statements, and I'm also well known in the trading community as being pretty good at what I do. Why? Because I've done it over 15 years. You know, it's not something that just happened overnight. It's a little bit like a marriage, you know. It was always good overnight. Always was great on the first day, wasn't it? Right, first day. Well, it would have been great on the first day, but somebody didn't give it up. It took ages.
How does your missus put up with you? Must be my legendary prowess as a lover.
That's why I'm in the doghouse, because apparently I embarrass her all the time. And in yesterday's video, I told you about Stop Chat. And, well, let's just say somebody here thought that I was being naughty.
Who'd be stupid enough to do that?
Justify, stupid.
You know, you're a classic example of the inverse ratio between the size of the mouth and the size of the brain.
So I have to pay for it. And these trips are getting worse now that we're allowed to travel around a bit. Every time I'm in the doghouse, this starts crying. She starts smiling. And I start going, please, go on.
Hello.
And then she says she will. Then I pay for it. And then she doesn't. So you tell me who's naughty. I think it's her, and not in a good way.
I told you, you fat fuck son of a bitch. Never touch me like that again.
Let go of my balls.
Shut up.
I never said I will.
Eh? You did?
I didn't.
You did. I can play some videos back where you said you would. In fact, when you wanted to go to the lodge, you said you would definitely do it. If I booked the lodge, I booked the lodge. We went to the lodge. There's a pause now.
I don't have a book key.
I'll buy you one. If I bought you one, would you put it on? I'll not put it on the camera. I mean, just for like sort of...
Well, it depends what we'd like. We know your style.
All right, okay.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I better do some trading then. So for those of you looking at this thinking, what the hell is going on? This is what I was driving at. This is my job. I do it because I love it. I do YouTube because I enjoy it. It's a great hobby. And I'd like to think we're getting a little bit better. Not exactly Steven Spielberg, but we try. And hopefully you pick something up along the way. So click the little subscribe button, drop a comment, all helps, and like it, and we'll do some more. Right, so what we're doing. I said I would maybe do a challenge today in the Morningstar video. I found today very hard. The markets are kind of in flux. It's the first of the month. And they're kind of getting into a point where they're resetting and sort of finding their feet for the coming month. So what do you do? Well, for me, I just kind of sit back. I was going to take the day off, but I wanted to put something to the test. And that is, well, I'll rephrase that. I was pulled up on something that I said, and I'm going to put it to the test because I said you can trade any chart, any time, any direction. And well, let's just say some people kicked off at that. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can get 5 pips, just 5, because that's all you need, off a random chart. And what I'll do is I'll put it onto Google, so it's a random number, which will pick a random instrument, and then I'll trade that on a random direction. Let me fire the screens up and I'll show you. So, got my brokerage account. We need Google, random number generator. Okay. We need some parameters. So there is 31 products. Okay, which is kind of the majors, and there's gold, oil, DAX is in a couple of times. How would that work? That can't be right. Hold on. So if we take the DAX out.
Well, we're waiting.
Right, boys and girls. Technical hitch fixed. Right, start again. We have 31 instruments, which is a mix of FX, commodity and indices. Okay. We also have an even long and an odd short. Now that'll make sense in just a second. And we've got a coffee, because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee, and he also likes Winky, because she made the coffee. Very good of you. Come again.
Oh, thank you.
How come you're shopping when you're meant to be working?
Yeah, I'm working.
And you think you have your life easy. Right. So how are we going to do this? Well, what we're going to do is I'm going to pull up a random number between 1 and 31. Why? Because it's 31 products. Okay, so that makes common sense. And we're just going to generate a number. 5. Right, so what does that give us? Great. New Zealand, US. Amazing. Now we have to figure out whether we're going to go long or short with it. Well, we'll do a number between 1 and 100. If it is an even number, we'll go long. If it's a short number, we will go, well, if it's an odd number, we'll go short. Brain isn't functioning today. I've hardly been to bed. I'm knackered. This is wrong. You're not helping.
Why? I made the coffee.
Well, there you go. Right, 80. So that means long.
Right.
Long.
What's with that?
Trying to emphasize it badly. Okay, boys and girls. So we now have a market. We are long and we are New Zealand USD. Okay. Great. Not the best market in the world. So let's see what we can find. All the way down here. New Zealand USD. There it is there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this as a single camera shot. I'm going to go on my other screens. I'm going to analyze the chart. And once I've finished analyzing it, I'll start looking to get 5 pips out of this market. Okay. So I'll just leave it. I'll keep coming back and I'll kind of tell you roughly what I'm up to and why I'm doing it. And then we'll see what happens. Right. We've got to kind of interrupt this because a parcel's just turned up with Winky on it. Okay. I didn't send it. And there's nothing in it. But whatever it is, they've sent this.
Open it up. For you.
Right. Now, when I'm drunk, which is on a regular occasion, and we're going away to a hotel this weekend, I might put that on just to... Actually, it's got your name. You put it on.
More your size than mine.
So, if you want to see this in action, put your comments and likes in. If we crack 100, I'll wear it and I'll put it on camera.
No.
Whoever said I'm a fool was very well. They were correct. Right. I'm going to have some fun with that. Right. I'll finish my coffee, do the analysing and see if we can get some money out of this chart. Okay, boys and girls, time to be a bit serious, get into this. So I've broken my chart down and I've had a decent look through it. If I use my sheet, which I use every day, it helps me navigate what's going on. So in this instance, we're looking at the New Zealand versus the US. Okay. Now it's telling me the New Zealand is the weakest and the dollar is mid-range. So in theory, the dollar should be stronger than the New Zealand, pushing it down. However, we've decided to go long. Okay. So is there any other clues I can look for? Well, if I look at the change of strength, I can see that, yes, the New Zealand is losing ground, but it ain't losing as much as the US. So this might actually be in my favor to be able to grab some money, because what it's telling me is that if the US is losing ground, they can be a bounce. So I now know what I'm looking for is a bounce within this pair. Now, if I look over to this side and I find New Zealand dollar, which is here, it's actually in flux. So it's not pulling up a chart. So this is going to be hard. So I am right in looking for a small target. So again, what this does is it defines what you're trying to do. It's telling me the state to play with the pair. It's kind of telling me to look for a bounce. And it's also telling me to keep my targets conservative because it is pretty close. It's close to the wire. So if I look at this and I look to see where it is, it's 55, which is mauve. I would monitor this on a 4-hour chart. Okay, so that's kind of what I would pick up from this. So if I'm looking at a 4-hour chart, we can see this is on a downward trend. And boy, is this on a downward trend. So I need to pick out some areas of interest. Okay, well, there's a one there. See it. All right, just make that thicker. All right, why is that? Well, you can see it's leveled off, and there's a bounce point. All right, so from that 4-hour chart, this is my arena, this bit. All right, so this is what I'm going to be working within, and I'm going to look for a bounce between these two lines. All right, I take it down into an hours chart so I can see what's going on. It's now sideways. Okay, so what I need to do is, it looks like whatever's been happening may have happened, so I'm going to let this pull back down into this cluster point or in and around this area, and then see if there is a quick bounce back to the upside. So I'll just take this down to a 5-minute chart. Sure enough, there is the drive up that you've just seen on the hour. Chop, chop, chop. It is moving down. There is a level of sorts. It's not a great level there. Why is that? Because you can see the peak. It's come up. It's had a go at going back, and it's bouncing on this level again. So this may give us an opportunity somewhere around here. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll just sit, I'll switch the camera back over, and we'll look to get our 5 pips. I mean, let's see what our little, I'll just put a little measuring box at the top of there. I need to get through that box to get 5 pips. Okay, now why am I doing 5 pips? It's a very slow market. It doesn't move that far. If you go out to the average true range, it is only doing 3 pips on a 5-minute chart, but its daily maximum is around 51-ish at this moment in time. 50, 10%, and that gives you your kind of your target. Why? Because I'm not looking for the top, I'm not looking for the bottom, I'm looking for the bit in the middle. And if I can just target accordingly, then I'm not sitting in heat too long. All right, so let me just do a bit of work, and I'll come back to you at the end. Well, boys and girls, that was that. And boy, was it hard. Not something I recommend, but I kind of just wanted to show it can be done. Where are we at? That is there. Killed the first one off because it looked like it was reversing, and then waited for that momentum ignition to come in from a breakout, and it popped up. Happy days. But it was right on the cusp. It was the bounce I was kind of looking for, as you can see. It's there. Now, as it came up into this area, it became quite a dangerous part of the trade, because it's already had an acceleration, and the question is that acceleration going to continue? Because it's not a great level, but as you can see, it's been respected before. So I needed to see if it bursts through. But then I'm looking at these tails and I'm thinking, this couldn't go badly wrong. However, multi-time frame analysis. If you look at your 15-minute, your hour, even go up to your 4-hour, just to get a gauge of what you think might be happening. And 5 pips seem to be a reasonable opportunity. And there we go. Job done. So chaos chart, randomly picked, randomly direction by Google, and still a profit. So what was the factor? Why did it profit? Well, it's very simple. Patience. I waited. When I saw it coming onto the top of a level, which was a bunch point on the 5-minute, doesn't hold a great deal of weight, but there is something there. When you're only trying to get a small amount of money out of it, you don't want it to go vastly against you. You know, you've got to be sensible about these things. Common sense. However, am I worried about inverse profit ratios? No, I'm not, because I build into trades. So I actually like it when it goes against me, because it means I can build up a full position. Whenever you see me go into market, it is only a partial position. And that's why I keep my stress levels pretty low. You know, if I go 100% to market on point of entry, I've got nowhere to go. I am fully committed and I have to ride it out, good or bad. And it doesn't do much for your nerves, trust me. A little bit like me going in the kitchen and messing things up. Doesn't do a lot for Winky's nerves, because apparently I get on them. That's why there's something on the board up there. I made a royal mess making tea last night. She went off on one like there was no tomorrow. Never mind. When we go away this weekend, somebody else will be doing the tidying up for us. And the restaurant will make the meal. So Scruffy will stay out of trouble. Well, that is until he puts his mankini on and then probably get kicked out of there. So we shall see. Coffee with Scruff would be interesting this weekend. So there you go, boys and girls. A little bit of a fun challenge. Not something I recommend. Not unless you know what you're looking for. But it was really just to give you a different spin on things. So as always, guys, trade well. Keep your risk managed. But above all, do what you love. And the money will follow. See you all in the next one.